That's correct.
But I want to be able to take my S-chip children and go to father-son picnics and do a three-legged race.
That's
have a
fun.
picture.
That is fun.
When we win, I put the picture on my wall.
Yeah.
And I'll bring my ambrosia salad to the father-son picnics.
Right. Now, do you get to send pictures of these kids in your Christmas card to others?
I should hope so. I'd like to have a relationship.
Right.
We're the ones paying for children's health care, which is fine, but everybody should pitch in. Everybody. And that includes any industry, especially the ones that are really affecting the health of children. So, but enough of that. Back to the cigar. There's it's kind of an earthy flavor, a little bit of a leathery kind of flavor, but there is a kind of a sweetness to it. A nice kind of a cocoa, like a dark cocoa and a caramel kind of flavor to it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this lightens it up too.
For the next episode, we're going to have some Amagong beer and a Nub, Connecticut. And I took
Sounds delicious.
Me and my wife went to the Amagong brewery over the summer, so maybe we'll have some pictures
That'll
of
be
us
nice.
frolicking and tasting beer. Because I'm not really a Scotch guy. I have no taste for it. I have no palate for it. To me, it all tastes like kerosene. Although maybe I'd like to have somebody on the show who can convince me that it's not. Bring on some nice Scotch and we'll pair them up. But I really don't.
Scotch is an acquired thing. I think it's kind of like art. Kurt Vonnegut said that in one of his books, he was talking. One of his characters was talking to someone else. I forget who it was, but he said to understand art, it's not a matter of like learning technical things about it. You should just, before you make any judgments or try to figure it out, see 1,000 works of art. And I think Scotch is similar, where you maybe not have 1,000
My esophagus
Scotches,
can't
right?
take 3 sips.
But the same rule sort of applies. In order to draw distinctions between the Scotches and develop a flavor, you have to just try them. You know.
Maybe you're right. Because people, that's the most classic pairing is a glass of Scotch and a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
I have no taste for it, but I'm willing. I'm always open to it. But every time I want to stop and just clean my palate and have a nice glass of wine or a nice beer. But so anybody out there, if you live in the 518 area code and you want to be on the show, contact me. The email address is right here. And for more information about cigars, if you want to follow up on the show and get some more information, go to indulgecigars.com. That's also down here. But don't forget, we're doing a contest. Take a picture of yourself having a cigar in inappropriate, I guess. Or not, society says it's inappropriate, but what would just be an interesting place to smoke a cigar where you may not normally do that.
Quite possibly in certain communities they might have laws against smoking in public places, but we'll call them inappropriate places.
Yeah, inappropriate places. And the winner is going to get a Rocky Patel Old World Reserve Corojo Torpedo 5-pack. And I'm going to be judging based on how funny it is and the quality of the picture. And don't forget, make sure that there's plenty of smoke pluming around and just billowing around so that we know you're smoking a cigar and you're not just wussing out and walking to wherever, a movie theater or wherever, and just putting a cigar in your mouth and saying, hey, look at me, I'm a badass. No, you're not. You're a lame-o. And
if you want to do that and send the picture, go ahead, but it's not going to win. The cigar needs to be lit, obviously.
Evidence of smoke.
Right.
This is our first episode, and I run a cigar store. It's an online cigar store. You're probably saying, well, why aren't you doing the show in your awesome cigar shop, Todd, with your really cool walk-in humidor and your cigar store Indian and all the other cool things that make a cigar store really awesome?
Yeah, you need Elijah.
What's that?
Poor old Elijah never had a kiss. Elijah didn't know what he missed. It's a Hank Williams song. You don't remember that one?
I've never heard that song. But
it's about a cigar store Indian.
Oh. Well, I didn't learn that song at my 4-H club like you, or your Boy Scout Jamboree, or wherever the hell you learned that. But I don't have a real store. I have an office, which is not really that cool. It's not really conducive to a cigar show. It's not really appealing. It's a nice office, but that's why we're here in my apartment. So this is our first show, and I wanted to do something because I kind of have a history in television. I wanted to do my own TV show, my own sort of kind of variety show, talk show. And I smoke cigars and I sell cigars, so I wanted to do a cigar talk, chat show, review type thing.
That's what you're interested in, sure.
That's what I'm interested in.
Absolutely.
So I quit my job to dedicate some time doing this, and nothing could have solidified my decision more than when I was at Sears just the other day getting some stuff for the show. I was in the hardware department, and all these employees were kind of gathered around one of the customers at the desk who was buying something. It was this guy, and he's telling these just awful jokes. And one of the women that was there working on the floor, she's just rolling, just laughing at this guy's awful jokes. And because she's laughing, of course, he's doing more and more and more jokes. Like when you say something kind of funny and nobody laughs, so you use that as your motivation to keep telling more jokes. This is kind of opposite. This lady
Right.
was really, really laughing. So
That's
the guy's
what I
like,
do.
I'll tell you one more joke. And he's telling these awful, awful jokes. All the employees at Sears are kind of gathered around. And it's kind of closing time, and they should be doing stuff because I wasn't being helped, and there's probably 6 people listening to this guy tell his jackass jokes.
Did he get like 101 for Christmas or something?
These are just old guy jokes, and he's telling these, and all these employees are kind of like baby boomer aged. And this guy is just telling jokes, and everyone's gathered around, and there's this one dude on the floor, and he's kind of doing his own thing because it's time to get out of there, and he wants to get his job done so he can get the hell out of Sears. And the woman, the main woman who's been laughing the most, the guy leaves after telling his jokes, and this woman says to Tim, this other guy working the floor who's doing his job, who's new, she says, forgot to tell you, Tim, that's one of the benefits of working on the floor. You get to hear jokes. And Tim goes, yeah, I guess you do. And the way he said it, my heart went out for him because I've been Tim so many times. I know what it's like to be that guy. And I don't want to be Tim. And I feel so bad for him because Tim just wanted to get the hell out of that place, finish his job because he's got like a truss on, he's moving stuff. I felt his pain when he said, yeah, I guess that is one of the benefits of being here, listening to jokes. I don't want to be Tim ever again. Please watch this show. Help me make this a success. Send this link to your friends if you like the video. We're probably going to try to do more, maybe once a week, have more charismatic people on than just Mark. People that can actually throw, comment and have witty things to say. To get back to the review, we've been smoking these Rocky Patel Old World Reserves Torpedos. Slow burning cigar, great draw the whole way down. Your ash has been hanging on like a pro. I think that's actually your
right.
second ash, right?
Yep,
You're working on your second ash.
Yep.
If you've smoked anything else from Rocky Patel, this is probably like nothing you've had before. Some people say that the Old World Reserve is similar to the Rocky Patel vintages. I don't think so at all. I think it has a very unique flavor, and it's really nothing like the Rocky Patel Decade either, which I'm not sure if you've had, but you did recently have a Rocky Patel Edge, which was the unbanded little torpedo. Mm-hmm. There's some flavor similarities between the Rocky Patel Edge, Corojo, and the Old World Reserve. But other than that, this is a pretty unique cigar. It's definitely an aged cigar. Very mellow, considering how strong the tobacco flavor is. It's a pretty mellow cigar. I don't know, have you noticed any pain in smoking this?
No pain. I'm not the cigar aficionado, and so I wouldn't know the difference. I'm not sure I would know the difference between an aged cigar and a cigar that is not aged.